gonna do this. Hey guys, welcome back to the Jessica Ruth Knits podcast. This is episode 33, and it's been a whole 9 months since I last podcasted. Thatcher's cracking up. So it feels like this is the very first podcast episode. So excuse me for being rusty. I took quite a long break. Have the biggest finished object of my life to show you guys, and yeah, if you have never been here, I'm so glad that you found me, that you're here. Thank you everybody for just stopping by. Thank you for the words of encouragement, people asking when I was going to podcast next. Yeah, your guys' support means a lot. So today is the 16th of November 2018, and I've got a few things to show you. This is more like just a getting back in the swing of things episode. I mean, just since it's been 9 months, obviously I'm not going to show you everything I've knit in the past 9 months, because, yeah, it's not possible. So, I picked out a few things that I finished recently to show you, and if I keep looking down here, it's because Thatcher, my 6-month-old baby, is laying on the couch playing with his little, like, mobile thing. So, I'll show you guys him in a minute. But yeah, so life updates. Thatcher's here. We had a baby boy on May 4th of this year. When we were pregnant, we did not find out the gender of the baby, and so it was super fun to find out it was a boy when he was born. But I'll try to get more into life updates like at the end, so if you guys aren't interested, or if you don't want to hear baby stuff, that's totally fine. We struggled with infertility for 10 years, and so a lot of times I couldn't handle listening to people talk about their babies because I just wasn't in that state of mind. So I totally understand. I'm not offended if you don't want to hear all about baby Thatcher. So I will try to stick to that stuff at the end. So let's talk about 2 things that I finished. For Thatcher, we live in Arkansas, and the weather is turning colder. In fact, it turned cold like all of a sudden. It was like somebody flipped a switch. We went from having the air conditioning on to having to get out the space heaters. Last night we finally had to break down and build a fire in the wood stove. So the weather is just crazy. I had knit Thatcher a bunch of hand knits like while I was pregnant, just in neutral colors, because we didn't know the gender. The problem was he was born in May, and then it was so hot this summer, so we constantly had the air conditioning on. He almost never got to wear hand knits. So now that it's cooling off, I'm super excited to knit for him. So the very first thing I knit for him recently is just this hat. Oh, the light's gonna be horrible. No, it's gonna be horrible. It's his hat. It's like dark blue, and it's got blacks, and a big pom-pom. I was running out of yarn when I made the pom-pom, and so it's not as tight as I would like it to be. So, like these are kind of coming out. But I figure if the pom-pom falls apart, I'll just put, like a faux fur pom-pom on. Maybe like a big black one. And that'll be fine. It's not the end of the world if this comes apart. But the hat is just... I don't know if I followed a pattern. If I did, I'll try to link it. But it's just ribbed at the bottom and then just garter stitched the whole way up. So super simple. Yeah, I added a pom-pom, and that's it. It fits Thatcher. It's so cute on him. Maybe when I show you guys Thatcher, I'll put it on. You guys can see how cute he looks in it. So that was one finished object. And I don't let Thatcher play with this because the strings are so loose. So, I have to make sure that he's not playing with it because I feel like he would just pull the pom-pom strings out, and then I don't want him to choke on those because those would be super, like, 2 inches long. Yeah, so this is one he doesn't get to play with. You can see, like, my seam there. Like that. Oh, that light. Sorry, guys. The light is horrible. Do you guys have ladybugs where you are? Do you see the ladybug? They're Japanese lady beetles, and they bite, and they're awful, and they're everywhere, and they come in, like you can see one crawling right there on the picture frame. They're everywhere here in the South. And I think it's more like a rural thing because we're out in the middle of the woods in the middle of nowhere. And so they come in, yeah, they're just awful. And we get them every year, and they come in by like the hundreds, and then they die. And then next year it starts all over again. So we're just vacuuming up all these gross ladybugs. Anyways, you didn't want to know that, but there was one crawling on me. Okay, the second finished object that I just finished is this little bonnet. My girlfriend is pregnant, and she's due in December, and they are having a little baby girl. And so I wanted to knit her something since it will be colder weather. Yeah, yeah, it'll be colder weather. And I just thought knitting for a girl would be super fun. So this is the Beloved pattern by Tin Can Knits. Those colors are pretty good. And it just has these little I-cord bonnet strings. It's just like that. Like, this would be where her face would be. And it would just tie under the chin if you wanted to tie it. Just like that. It's super sweet. The pattern was, as all of Tin Can Knits patterns are, super well written, super easy to follow. It's got this ridge. Just super basic, but so clever and so sweet. And I believe the pattern calls for DK or worsted. I did it in fingering. Sorry, I have a cold too, so I'm a little nasally. But I did it in fingering weight yarn, and I used size 4 needles. And I think next time if I do it again with fingering, I would hold it double, because this is not like a play out in the snow type of hat. It's more like if they're inside and they just need something over her head. Yeah. So, but I think for them, I mean, it's only gonna fit when she's itty bitty. I don't think it needs to be super thick and warm. But yeah, that's all I can say about that one. Super sweet. It took like an evening. It was so quick. You start, oh, what was cool about this one is you start with the I-cord and you end with the other I-cord. So the only 2 ends you have to weave in are just coming out of the little I-cord pieces. So there's no sewing up, there's no real ends to weave in other than dangling from the I-cords. So you start with an I-cord, and then you go increase until it's out here, and then you just decrease and end with an I-cord. So super simple. Because you're always doing something different, it's not like stockinette for 6 inches. It really keeps your interest, and it's addicting. Because you think, oh, I'll just increase one more, and then increase one more, and then, oh, now I'm decreasing. And so it flew by. It has an I-cord edging right here. This is an I-cord. So it just looks super tidy and put together, and there's no awkward, like, you know how garter stitch sometimes it gets an ugly wavy edge? There's none of that. It's just super, it's on both sides, like here and there. So yeah, again, it's the Beloved pattern by Tin Can Knits, and I'll try to link it if I can do some editing. With Thatcher, who knows what I'll get to do. So there we go. Okay, those are my only 2 finished objects other than the big one, but I'll save that till the end. So let's move on to works in progress. Okay, so like I said, all of the baby knits that I had knit Thatcher were way too small, or I don't know if I said that, they were way too small. He was 8 pounds 12 ounces, so he was big. And so the baby knits were teeny tiny, and it was too hot for him to wear them anyways. So I'm knitting, this is the Gramp, I'm knitting a sweater for him. It's the Gramps cardigan, again by Tin Can Knits. It's not gonna be able to see much of it, but this is the back, like that. It's like pretty greens and blues and purples. It's a cardigan, so the front is open like that, and then it will have like a big shawl collar, and it has pockets, and I'm gonna do the pockets and the shawl collar in like this bright green. The yarn is, I believe it's hedgehog fibers, if I can get it out of the ball. stuck in there. There we go. Yeah, it's Hedgehog Fibers Merino DK in the colorway Medusa. Do you know that's for you? Yeah, it's for you. It is. So, this is kind of just one I keep on the couch. You know, so for watching TV, because right now I'm just stocking it back and forth for like 6 inches. So it's just mindless, like couch TV knitting. But yeah, I'm super excited to see Thatcher wear it, so I think that'll be really fun. I have another ball of this. I don't think this will last me the whole sweater, so I'll have to dip into the second ball. I'm hoping that I won't use too much of the second ball, and I can make him a matching hat. I think that would be super cute. He's trying to reach for the camera tripod right now. Okay, so Thatcher's Gramps cardigan. Then, for me, bud, let's move you. Hold on. Oh, you're just gonna chew on that? Okay. For me, I have this huge cardigan. This cardigan is a Stephen West pattern. It is the Marled Mania cardigan. Yeah, because he has the Marled Mania sweater, and this is the cardigan. So, the whole premise of this sweater and cardigan is it just uses up all these different yarns, and you hold 2 different yarns together, and then you drop one, and you add a third one, and so it just marls it. Yeah, I don't really know how to describe it, but I'm doing it faded marled sweater. So it's like this, and there's so many stitches, and so it's so hard to show you because this thing is massive. Like, in his pattern, it almost touches the like the back of the cardigan almost touches the floor. I do not want it to be that big because that's kind of like wearing a blanket. And so I think I'll make it shorter, but it is a huge cardigan. So, okay, this is the sleeve, and then this is where the other sleeve will go. But it's like this. And so these just, the front end just droops down, like almost to your belly button. So the front is, or the top is this ribbing, and I don't have all the color names, and it uses like 30 different colors, so I'm not going to tell you them all. I'm not even going to list them all in my Ravelry because I don't have time for all that. But they're just skeins that I had in my stash that I thought would kind of fade. So let me turn it around and you guys can see the back. Okay, so it's like this. And again, sorry, okay. And if I put it there and block out the light. So you're just, like, here you start with colors 1 and 2. You drop color 1, you add color 3, so then you have colors 2 and 3. Then you drop color 2, you add color 4, so then you have 3 and 4, and so on, all the way down. So it's kind of striped, but faded. And when I picked out my colors, I picked out like 10 colors that I was going to use. I had this really pretty fade, and I'm almost through all of them. And obviously, my cardigan, like, this is the armpit, so I probably have like 5 inches under the armpit done. Obviously, it's nowhere near being done. I think I need like 20 inches at least under the arms for the length that I like. So I blew through my colors. So then I found some more in stash. So I was gonna have it just be these colors, like blues and greens. I think I have more greens to go into. I don't know, maybe blues. But now that I had to add so many more colors, I'm going to transition it like into purples and pinks, I think. The other option would be to fade it back the other way. So like it would go from here, and then it would go back down this way and end with this one too. But my worry with that is that I would run out of yarn before I had the length. And then if I needed to add in new colors, it would just look like choppy. So I think I'm just going to transition it to purples and pinks, and have it just kind of be like Jacob's coat of many colors. I mean, it's Stephen West, so they can be crazy, right? But this is the whole back of it. And I started doing the sleeve. So let's see. So the sleeve obviously keeps going, but I wanted to keep doing the colors so that I didn't forget which ones went. But you can kind of see like how this just hangs down. Like right now it's all the way down to my belly button. And it's still scrunched up on the needles. So this thing's going to be huge. I'd started it and I was all gung-ho about it. And I did the ribbing, like all of this. It's probably like 10 inches. I did it in like less than a week, and then I started with the colors, and I was super excited, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna bust this cardigan out. And I got so bored with it. So it's been scrunched up in a bag. Like these are the colors I'm working with right now. Yeah, so it kind of transitions. This is the next one I'm adding to blues, like that. And then from there it'll go purples and then pinks. So this is the one this green is the one I'm going to drop next. And so then it'll be these two. Sorry, I'm trying to block out that window. I pulled the curtains, but it didn't help with the light at all. So, sorry. Okay, let me put all of these guys back in their bag. Oh. Okay. And this is in my Bags by Awesome Granny bag that I bought a couple years back. It is just such a good sweater size knitting bag. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Okay, so that is all of the knitting I have for today. It's kind of short on knitting content, but I wanted to just get back in the swing of things, show you guys what I'd been working on. I'm going to gift that bonnet to my girlfriend, so I wanted to show you guys that before I pass it on. And yeah, so if you guys don't want to stick around for life updates, or if you don't want to see Thatcher, I don't know who wouldn't, but maybe you don't. Like I said before, I totally get if you can't or are not interested in babies at all. That's totally fine. So yeah, my absolute favorite finished object ever is this little guy right here. I'm gonna move his play gym, but this is what I have on the couch for him. It's just like this little wooden gym from IKEA, and these move around, and like these things on the sides spin. He just loves it, and it was like, I don't know, 15, 20 bucks. I have a big one that my mom got me on the floor that he plays with, but this one is perfect. Oh, sorry, I just kicked the tripod. This one is perfect for like when I'm changing his diapers. We just change him on the bed, but I'll lay him down and I'll put that over him. And so if I don't, he tries to like grab his diaper. So that way it just kind of keeps him entertained. And it's the perfect, like, it's compact, so it fits on the couch. Yeah, so he can just kind of hang out on the couch. Okay, you guys want to meet him? Come here, bud. This is Thatcher. Say hi. Say hi. So this is Thatcher Lawson. He was born May the 4th, so he's our little Star Wars baby. Yeah, bud, look. Are you gonna say hi? Who's up there? Who's there? Is that baby Thatcher? He was 8 pounds, 12 ounces, and he came 3 weeks early. I had to be induced because I had really high blood pressure. Yeah, who's up there? Who's up there? Do you see yourself? So they actually worked, I was in the hospital at 35 weeks with high blood pressure, and they gave me the steroid shots thinking he was going to come. So the steroid shots kind of just finished developing his lungs because that's still like over a month early. And then my blood pressure stabilized, and so they sent me home. And then at 37 weeks, they induced me like to the day. Yeah. Just because my blood pressure was back up, and yeah, it wasn't worth the risk. And 37 weeks is considered perfectly fine to deliver at. 35 was still too early, but 37, they're pretty much, from that point, they're just gaining weight. So 37, it's like all of his organs are, you know, fully developed. So he was 8 pounds, 12 ounces. And I can't imagine if he had 3 more weeks to cook, like, how big he would have been. He was only 20 inches long, so, is that funny? It's not like he was a super long baby, and he's not fat. He's just big. Like, I mean, like, there's no real chunk on him. He's in cloth diapers, so, his booty's a little big. Yeah. But, yeah, we spent, normally when you give birth, you come home the day after, or, like, if you have a C-section, you can have 2 days in the hospital just to recover. We had to stay in the hospital for a week because he was jaundiced and he had really low blood sugars. Yeah, tell him. So we stayed in the hospital for a week, then we came home for like a week and a half, and he wasn't gaining weight. So it's perfectly normal for them, like, to drop down from their birth weight. They lose, like, a little bit. I think they can lose, like, 5% or 10%, you know, something like that, of their weight, and that's considered normal. But by 2 weeks after birth, they want them back up at their birth weight, if not gaining more weight past that. So 2 weeks later, he still wasn't back at his birth weight. He wasn't losing weight, but he just wasn't gaining it like they wanted him to. And he was looking super orange because of the jaundice. So I took him in, I called the pediatrician and said, you know, can you just check him out? Like, he doesn't look right. He looks like antique china, where he's just yellow. So we went in and they did blood work, and then we were actually like half an hour away having lunch at our favorite taco place, and they called and they're like, you need to go to the Children's Hospital up in Little Rock, like ASAP. His bilirubin levels, which are the levels of that indicate like how jaundiced he is, were crazy high, and yeah, are you drilling? So we didn't even have, like, we just had a diaper bag with us. We didn't even have his bag packed, or like our bags or anything. So we went up to Little Rock. No, we went home, packed bags really quickly, ran up to Little Rock, which is like an hour away. The doctor had called them to say we were coming, and then we spent over a week in that hospital waiting for him to gain weight and for his levels, his bilirubin levels, to go down. So we had to be under the lights. Yeah, and it was super hard because, you know, he's this new baby and you can't hold him because he has to be under the incubator lights. So now he's fine. Yeah, he is more than gaining weight. He's in like the 99.9 percentile for his age. Maybe if I put you on a pillow, can you be in the camera? So he's like super huge. He's over 23 pounds at 6 months, which is just ginormous. He's super tall. My husband, Tim, is 6'4", so, I mean, it's perfectly plausible that our kid would be big, but he's, like, everywhere we go, people comment on his hair, and they comment on how big he is. So, are you just a big boy? Yeah. He's been pretty healthy. He had to have surgery on his balls because he had he had 2 hydroceles. So basically, each ball sack was full of fluid, and so they were swollen, and they were like rock hard, and they just hurt him. Kids get these all the time, but normally they don't get that big, and they don't get rock hard, and they just look like a little swollen, and they'll go away by their first birthday. But because his were so big and so rock hard, we had to do surgery because the doctor was worried that the testicles would get damaged just by all the pressure. So, on October 30th, so the day before Halloween, he had surgery, and they went in and drained both of them and, like, sealed them off so they can't fill up with fluid again. So, we spent a week recovering from that. That was rough. But now he's like a whole new baby. He used to scream bloody murder in the car seat. Yeah, because the straps, like, on a car seat it has that 5-point harness. So, you know, there's a buckle that goes right down his crotch. And you have to tighten the car seat, like the straps, so that, you know, for safety reasons, so the baby's, like, secure in the car seat. But every time I would tighten that car seat strap, he would just scream bloody murder. And it's not like you can loosen up, because then it's not safe. So we tried to limit our trips, and now he still doesn't like the car, but he's not in pain. So he's just so much happier. He's in such a better mood. Yeah, he's just, bud, what are you looking at? Do you want to hold on to Izzy's hat? Do you want to hold on to that? Yeah. What else can I say about Thatcher? Other than he's adorable. We are so smitten with him. Yeah, I mean, guys, like, we have waited forever for this little guy. We love him to death. Humbug. Yeah. He's like 6 months and a week now. The doctor said because he's so big that he's gonna be delayed in, like, rolling over and standing up and sitting. So he can sit, like, if he's assisted. And he can roll over. He just doesn't really like to. Do you want to stand up? Yeah. Huh. Yeah, you gonna talk to them? Are you gonna talk? Yeah. What are you gonna say? What's your favorite kind of yarn? You don't know? Yeah? Oh. Oh. Yeah? You gonna say hi? So yeah. If you guys have any questions, comments, I can be found on Instagram. I'm Jessica Ruth Knits. And on Ravelry, I'm Sergeant Griff's Girl. Oh. So it's SGTGRIFFS Girl. GIRL. Okay. We do have a Ravelry group. It's the Jessica Ruth Knits podcast group. It's been pretty quiet lately because I've been not podcasting. So hopefully I'll have some giveaways coming up. And so hopefully we can kind of get chatting a little more in that group. And yeah, maybe next week I'll announce a giveaway, and I have a bunch of yarn that I would just like to share with you guys. So, alright, Thatcher, do you want to say thank you for coming? Can you tell them thank you for coming? Anyways, thank you for coming. Thank you for sticking with this. Thank you for putting up with the baby drool. Yeah. I don't know what story Thatcher's trying to tell you, but he is very insistent on telling it. Oh yeah? Yeah. He's almost teething, so hence all the drooling. Okay. But anyway, I think we're gonna go play, and I hope you guys have a great day. Happy knitting, and we will talk to you next time. Alright, bye guys. Take care. You guys say hi. Did we podcast? Did we do a podcast? Yeah. Oh, are we done? Are we done? Huh? you want to show off your hat? Say, look how cute I am. Look how cute I am. Yeah. No, nothing. Nothing.